item. Approve with this and such allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If I may establish quorum. Guillermo Madrid. Here. Gloria Rodriguez.
Here.
Jesse Gandra.
Here,
We have quorum.
now move into public hearing at 5:31.
We have just one person signed up for public hearing.
Well, public hearing. Would you like to speak in the public hearing? Ms. Ramos?
Ms. Ramos, you have 3 minutes.
I do.
Just kidding.
Good evening. I would like to just ask first of all which one is the main copy, because I have 2 different ones. And the one that was just handed out that has the CDF version in it. So I wanted to make sure that we got the correct one, because I haven't received that. On the second page,
Ms. Ramos, you're saying that you received a copy that had an error on it? What page are you referring
on
to?
page 2, I just, the letter I, on the last sentence, power of the city of Bernie has established and recognized in Texas Insurance City.
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to, is that still the one?
You're using your copy.
Okay, just a change of support. Well, first of all, I just wanted to comment on the fact that we did have an ordinance number 131, and of course, due to the fact that we did have several issues on there that did not coincide with the charter, we wanted to make sure that it would be repealed. And I wish that we really had not repealed it in total, because I think with a few amendments on ordinance 131, it would have taken care of those issues, especially when it came to the membership, what would establish quorum, and the requirements for the membership that would be appointed. When I was chairing the commission, I did work with Mr. Garrett Satchel from Austin. He was the executive director from the Texas Historical Commission, and if possible, I would like to have that for the record, please. I did work with him, especially after the training that we put together, to make sure that we would be able to learn everything that we needed to be a successful historical commission, as well as the city CLG program, and to comply with what was needed and required by the state of Texas in order for us to continue receiving funding for the CLG program. I did work with him, and it did take extensive time because, as you know, an executive director from the state doesn't have only the city of Socorro to work with, they have everyone from the state of Texas. And many of the other cities are as well part of the CLG program. So it did take quite a bit of time, not that we were neglecting the fact that you only needed the ordinance to approve and for us to put it before you. However, several things did happen and we were not able to get it out sooner as fast as we wanted it to happen. However, we did after the fact that we did put that ordinance together, the commission did meet, I believe, in February, if I'm correct, of this year. And they were told by Mr. Leone that they could not carry out business during that meeting, but the one thing that they could do was work on the ordinance. And that it was as a committee. And at that point, they decided to appoint a committee to put together the ordinance or to finalize it. And so they did, and they did choose, they chose me, Mr. DeToro, and Mr. Leone, and Mr. Nakira, that were supposed to be working on that, finalizing the ordinance actually that we had worked with Mr. Derek Setchel from Austin. Well, we did, I did ask Mr. DeToro if he could please finalize typing it out. There was several typos, and I did revise it. However, I did trust that the city council or our city manager or our city clerk would come back and let us know that we needed to sit together and make sure that we would go over it, and if there was anything that we needed to change or recommend, make any recommendations to making any changes on that specific ordinance, we would have really appreciated, because Derek worked pretty hard with me to get that ordinance together, and that is their job. It is to help the city of Socorro and the commission put together the ordinances needed for a successful CLG program for the commission as well. Well, Mr. DeToro did hand over that the ordinance that he had finalized on February the 24th, and he gave, along with a cover letter to Mr. Leone, to provide one for the HLC chairperson Martha Trujillo and the city attorney Jerry Wallace and Mayor Guillermo Ganga Sr. And so Mr. Leone did receive it, and I don't know whether the city council received it on hand or not. We did work, and we did comply with what we said we were going to do and completed our task. However, nobody ever came back to us to let us know, was there anything wrong with this ordinance that we worked for such a long time and very hard to put together. And the reason why Mr. Setchel helped us was because he did notice a lot of the certain wording that could be better and would help us to identify some of the requirements that was needed to be able to comply and to help the commission as well. I did notice on the one that was provided to us, on page number 4, where it says the same terms of office, I think it is very important that we need to specify, about the number of membership, and that, or let's put it this way, the charter states on section 1301A, where we're seeing that here it states on the third from the last sentence, eligible candidates for membership must be residents of El Paso County, Texas. And I think that doesn't really suffice to the need for how the charter states on section 1301A. The Historical Landmark Commission shall consist of 7 members, 3 of the affected area and 4 members at large. When you put down El Paso County, Texas, it doesn't specify the importance of having representation from the affected area. And I'm voicing this because, yes, whatever will be done along that historical corridor will have an impact on those residents that live along the corridor, and they should be able to have, to be participants of that membership. And because if you're going to word it El Paso County, Texas, you can very well appoint just everybody from outside Socorro and not have any representation from our citizens that will be impacted as to what happens along that historical corridor. And then, on the last sentence, commission members may be removed at any time and for any reason deemed appropriate by the city council upon majority vote of the city council of the city of Socorro. There again, I believe that you need to specify the reasons for what, or why you're going to remove these members from their commission. If we don't specify, they will not know, well, what are we looking at? Any reason? What does any reason entail? And I think that's a little bit, just not giving them very much information as to what is appropriate and what isn't. Commission meetings on G. We used to hold them, and again, the last meeting was held, I believe, on the second Wednesday of each month. I don't know why you are changing in the time, 5:30, as you can see. 5:30 doesn't really cut it for very many of the people that work. They're already getting off work at 5 to make their way home or get down here with the heavy traffic. I don't think that they will be able to get here at 5:30. Again, we will run into the same situation and problems that we've had in the past. Many people voicing that 5:30 is a little bit too early, such as today. I wish you would have held this meeting on Thursday, a regular meeting, where we would be able to have more participation. And again, voicing for the people that would like to see and hear more about this, which is very important. I believe that should be taken into consideration. Number 5, page 6, appointment of historic preservation officer. Why not hire a preservation officer? That would take much of your headaches away, in the sense of a person that has the discipline, that knows the importance of preservation and protection of history, our historical landmarks, and everything that we have here in the city of Socorro. We are able to hire other positions. Why not make that one of your priorities as well, to hire a preservation officer? The other cities have one. Why not the city of Socorro? If you see what it is that they need to know, it's pretty extensive. And if not, yes, a volunteer, but that volunteer needs to have a lot of experience and a lot of understanding about what historical preservation stands for and the protection of it itself. I also noticed on section 8, the approvals, the section 8 procedure for approval of a certificate of appropriateness. Again, it is very important to identify the requirements of the application, explaining what they will be requested to provide in that application. What are they expecting in that application? If there's nothing to provide that information there, many of our people will be left in limbo, like, what is it that we need, and where is, identify that application and the criteria needed for them to bring it in well-filled. Again, and also for whether it is for maintenance or new construction, rehabilitation, restoration, I think all that criteria needs to be there identified as well in an ordinance as to what criteria are you using when it comes to certain construction or remodeling or maintenance and whatnot. On section 12, section 11, demolition by neglect. On D, state limitation of or permit applications for any project, or less than no application for a permit for any project of the property may be considered for a period of 3 years from the date of the demolition. I truly believe that you need to revisit this, because in most of the cities, what they do is they do hold what they call citation hearings. There needs to be a procedure, a proper procedure, where you're going to ask them what they need to adhere to in case they're thinking of carrying on a demolition as well. And letters need to be sent out in certain timing and days and first notice, second notice. If you notice in the previous ordinance, we had all of that in there. And the one that Mr. Vitoro handed to Mr. Leone, if you notice,